Alright everybody, my glutes are pretty sore today for whatever reason, and I'm gonna be stretching them. So join me on this glute stretching extravaganza. How should we begin? We need to warm up a little, right? Let's warm up somehow. How should we warm up? Well, let's start with a gentle. Let's start gently. Okay. Lay on our backs. Just bring one knee to your face. Okay? I'm bringing my left knee in while the other leg is firmly rooted down and straight. Okay? Just keep bringing that left knee in. Maybe now take your left knee to the left with your left hand and see if you could straighten that leg, holding the back knee, the back of the knee, and then bend it back, bring it back to center. Switch sides by bringing the right knee up as well, hugging the right knee in, straightening the left leg out. Pull that right knee into your face as much as it'll gently go. Remember to breathe. And with your right hand on your right knee, pull the right knee to the right. And then straighten that leg if you can, if you got the space for it. And then bend it and bring it back to center. Okay, let that go. Let's go into thread the needle. Thread the needle is very simple. We've done it a bunch. Put your right foot down, put the left foot over the right thigh. Just gently pull the left knee away from us a few times, just to get it warmed up to that idea of being open in that direction. Just back and forth, dynamically moving. Now we thread the needle. Grab around the back of your right thigh and pull the left knee in. Firm up both the toes of both feet and just lift them up. And if you want to take this to stretch deeper, grab your shin. It's up to you if you want to rest your head back to intensify things or not. It's up to you. Do what feels right in every way. Okay, let's release that. Let's switch sides. Before we begin pulling that left thigh in, just start pushing the right knee away from you with your right hand. Okay, and then once that's prepped up, we could just thread the needle and pull the left knee in toward our face. As we use our hip muscles to move our right knee away from our face. Again, to intensify things, you could just grab your shin and or rest your head back on the mat. Play with that. Everyone has different dimensions and different flexibilities, so you gotta play with all the things. Find what works for you. Okay, let's release that. and rock a little bit. Let's rock a little bit. Just 3 times, 4 times. Just to massage the whole back area. And come upright. And go into it. Let's start one kind of twist. We'll do a couple different types of twists. Put both legs straight out in front of you. Bring the right foot outside the left knee. Grab your right knee with your left elbow, or wrapping your left arm wrapping around your right knee basically. And you can even use your other hand to pull that knee in more as you put your chest up proudly. Some people like to do a twist here, like by putting the right hand behind them and then hooking this elbow outside and twisting. Personally, when I do this is just a twist for my spine, but it's not a glute stretch. But for me to make it a glute stretch is when I wrap that arm around the knee, bring the knee toward my chest, and then bring my chest up, crown of the head reaching up toward the sky. That stretches my right glute way better than the twist. So that's why I do this. You can even lean backwards. See how that changes things? Even if the foot is coming off, that's okay. Okay, let's switch sides. Straighten both legs. Put the right foot outside. Put the left foot outside the right knee. Wrap your right arm around your left knee. You could even use your other hand. Pull it in. Pull both your knee and your hand in. Firm up the straight leg. Toes up. Heel reaching through. And remember to bring your whole back up straight. Even more, chest up and proud. Crown of the head reaching up to help maybe stretch your glutes here. And again, you can do that twist like so. And it's more of a twist for your upper back. But I love to just do this glute stretch right now because I need it. And lean back slightly if you're in this glute stretch. And that might intensify things. Okay, great job everyone. Let's transition over to lizard pose. So in lizard pose, lizard is like a really long lunge. So I'm gonna basically put my left foot outside, my left hand, when I'm on hands and knees like this, and then tuck the back toes, raise the back knee off, and this is your basic lizard setup. And one of my favorite things, as you know already, is to just for a moment push the left knee away toward the left. And I love that feeling. That's just more in the groin than anywhere else. And now bring your right forearm, maybe you can do this. Bring your right forearm flat down on the floor. And then if you like, you could maybe bring your left forearm down as well. Personally, I'm not 100% there right now. Some days I am, some days I'm not. Depends how hot it is, how warm I am, how flexible I am. But find the modification and progression that works for you. And then get back on your hands. Bring the back knee down. And now from lizard pose, we transition to pigeon pose. Bring your left foot toward the right. And try to get your left knee down toward the mat. So this position is not easy for a lot of people, and it depends which side. This is my more flexible side. So it feels fine. But the goal is to get this shin parallel with the front of the mat. And that's really difficult to do. It's okay if you can't do that and your leg, your shin is like this. If your foot is coming in. Actually, that's safer for your knee. So definitely do what is less intense at first. It's okay if your foot is going down like this, because then it twists your knee less. Okay? The less twist that comes from the hip, the more it has to come from the knee. So, but do your best. And you have a couple ways to move here. Press the shin down into the mat. This is pigeon pose, and this activation is great. Raise both arms up and maybe do a slight back bend. Now reach forward. Don't let the hands come down until they do. And then just let your forehead go down onto the mat. You can even play with the concept of tucking the back toes and lifting the back knee off while you are in this folded position with your forehead on the mat and your arms reaching forward. And bring the back knee down. If you are feeling knee pain, you should get out of the stretch, because this is not the right stretch for your level right now. That is one thing I need to emphasize, is when you do hip stretches, and if the hip flexibility is not there, the knee has to twist to make up for it, and the knee is not meant to twist. So this is not one of those things you're supposed to just work through the pain. But if your knee is feeling fine, good, great, awesome. Because it's a really good stretch. And if you couldn't, it's okay. Now let's get out of this stretch by bringing both hands down on the mat, flat palms, tuck the back toes, lift the knees off, and raise the left foot up into three-legged downward dog. Okay. And now here's a nice little swivel. Move your knees and feet side to side while they're just hovering over your mat to help loosen it up. You can also try to do wide rotations with your knee in either direction, just to play with all that range that you just opened up by stretching your hip, stretching your glutes. Set both feet down next to each other. Raise the right leg up and step it forward outside the right hand. Bring the left foot down. And let's just get situated here for lizard pose for a moment. Tuck the back toes. Raise the back knee. Push the right knee away from you using your hand. Hopefully you have more space than I do for that. And then put both hands back down. And if you have a little bit of range here, put your left forearm down and then maybe the right forearm down. There's usually huge differences in range between people here. Remember to breathe. That's what I'm doing when I'm not talking. Okay, let's get back on our hands. If we were not on our hands already, bring the back knee down, untuck the back toes, and then slide the right foot over to the left and bring the right knee down on the mat for pigeon pose. So this side for me is a little bit less flexible, and that's why we are doing this. But remember, don't go so extreme that it hurts your knee. We don't want joint pain. Set yourself up on your hands. Push this front shin down into the ground. Just feel how that supports you and activates your hip muscles. Another way to think of it is to push the foot down, raise both arms up, and reach forward slowly. Don't let the hands hit the floor until they do. And then let the forehead go down on the floor, just laying over. This could be an intense position, of course. I know. Been in this position a lot. We all have. This is one of the most intense positions. But just keep breathing. And as long as there's no knee pain, just think of it all as an illusion. You could just melt it all away. All those thoughts running through your head, just ignore them, let them go by. And if there is knee pain, remember, this pose is off limits. Do all the previous stretches we did for our glutes, as they're much safer. I'm gonna just keep enjoying this stretch for a few more breaths here. Remember, you can also tuck the back toes and lift the knees off, the back knee off, and that will help stretch things a little bit differently as well. You can also try moving your body to the right. See how that makes things a little more intense? Okay, now hands down onto the mat, tuck the back toes, lift the knee off if you haven't already, and then raise that foot up into three-legged downward facing dog. Just let that knee drop a little bit and swivel, alternating the knees and feet just to loosen it up. And then explore that range by just bringing your foot up and knee out to the side, trying to make as big of a circle as you can. Exploring that new range that you just did, that you just got. Using that new range. Very important to use the range that you open up with so that the body learns. Now put both feet down. Go forward into a plank. Lower down slowly. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, child's pose. From child's pose, take a moment here just to take a couple breaths. Crawl your fingers forward into puppy dog pose. Let your forehead go down. Crawl your fingers back up into tabletop. And let's sit cross-legged. Let's sit cross-legged. And we can do a final stretch here. Raise both arms up and reach forward. Whether you want to keep staying in this stretch, it's up to you. Actually, yeah. You know what we should do? Is we should cross our legs. So uncross and then cross them the other way. Whatever is the opposite way that you're used to. Yep, the weird way. I think I switched it, right? Yeah. And basically switch the cross of your legs, raise both arms up, and just forward fold once more. Come back up, hands to the heart. And that concludes another yoga session. Feel free to meditate here by just doing nothing. We're always doing. How about just being? And doing nothing but being human, whatever that means. I'm being human right now. We're always being human. Anyway, that's enough of that. Thank you for watching. Should I say namaste? Namaste.